Hi, and welcome to King's Football Show. This is the match reaction show for Everton versus Arsenal, and unfortunately, we lost today. But before that, big up to everyone that's tuned in today in this Saturday night. Unfortunately, Arsenal did not win. Everton beat us 1-0 away from home at Goodison Park, and we continue with this bad run when we face Everton at Goodison Park. It's five straight games without a win at Goodison Park. So it wasn't a good game from us. But before that, let's go through the chat. Pick up the Man United agenda. Big up, bro. I hope you guys are well. Guys, do make sure that you do subscribe to the Man United agenda. And big up to Football Power as well. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Shout out to you. Yeah, big up to you as well, bro. And I do appreciate that you like and subscribe. And yes, guys, before you continue to watch the video, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and you like the video. And if you can share it as well, that would be wonderful. So yeah, today we had an away game, and our record away from home has been the best in the league. Got most clean sheet, taking most points. We were facing an Everton that have been very poor this season. There's no denying that they've been poor. But I think it was almost the perfect first game for Sean Dyche, where there was no pressure on him. The fans were up for the game. He knows how to play against Arsenal. We always struggle against Sean Dyche. Regardless if we win, draw, or lose, we always struggle. It's never an easy game. I don't remember us battering his Burnley side. If we did, it must have been a one-off. But usually it's very, very tight games, last-minute wins or draws or losses. So Everton had everything to play for and nothing to really lose, because the expectation was that Arsenal were going to win. First 19 games, we've just only lost one game and drawn two. So we had good form even since after the World Cup, just beating Man United 3-2. Before that, we beaten Spurs 2-0. Before that, we drew to Newcastle, and we had two wins before that in the league as well, where we won against Brighton and West Ham. But today we lost. And big up Luca AFC. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. But unfortunately, today we lost. And Everton, they deserved to win. They were the better team. They played better than us. And they were up for it. They showed a lot of grit, a lot of fight. They had the perfect game plan. I was so impressed with the way they played against us. They played with a very aggressive man-to-man marking. They made sure they double up on our wingers, Martinelli and Saka. And they hit us good on the counter. They had some very good counter-attacking opportunities, and another day they could have scored a few more goals. I do think that Arsenal started the game as the better team. In the first 20 minutes, we had good rhythm. We were kind of up for it. We did well. Could have scored if we were a bit more clinical. I felt like after 20 minutes, Everton, they find their rhythm and they find a way to slow down the tempo. And they were very, very disciplined. It was a typical Sean Dyche team. Aggressive, disciplined, physical, a lot of crosses, hit you on the counter. And it was enough for Everton to win. And listen, it can happen. You can lose games. It's part of it. We were never going to win every game in the league, regardless of how good we've been this season. We were never going to win every game. It was the manner that we lost today that was disappointing, but I'm not nowhere near any kind of panic station. So I do feel like a lot of players today were not up for it in terms of the level of performance they put in before. I did see it from them. So I don't think Ben White had a good game today. I don't necessarily think that Party was amazing. I think Granit has been fantastic and Mr. Consistent this season. He didn't have a good game. Martinelli did not have a good game, and Saka today, bar the first 20 minutes, didn't have a good game either. So obviously, and I felt like Eddie was quite anonymous as well. So if 5, 6 players are not playing at the level that you are used to see them play at, you are going to struggle. And we did today. And I don't think we were up for the fight either. We should have expected Everton to be very physical. But it was one of them where we need to bounce back. You can lose. You can lose away from home. You can lose against teams that are fighting relegation. But it can't be a trend. So we lost today. We need to make sure against Brentford that we win, and we need to make sure against Man City that we don't lose. Because again, Man City, they are the one who needs to beat us. They are still chasing us. As if from today, there's a 5-point gap between us and Man City, and we've played the same amount of game. Obviously, they play tomorrow. So when they play tomorrow, they would have played one more game. But we know that Spurs usually are the boogie team, and they've never won or even scored a goal at the new Tottenham Cold Spurs Stadium. So hopefully our neighbors, rivals, whatever you want to call them, can do us a favor tomorrow and beat Man City, or at least get a draw. That would be fantastic. So today we looked like a team that was a bit tired. Like usually we come out very strong in first half, and we come out very strong in the first part of second half as well. I was expecting us in the second half to really turn up the tempo, to really, put the pressure onto Everton. I felt like we failed to do that, and we didn't really have a plan B. And in games like this, you could tell that we missed Gabriel Jesus today. And the reason why I say that is because Jesus, regardless of how good Eddie is and how many goals he's been scoring, what we get with Jesus is that we get a player who's really, really creative, who can take the ball and dribble past players, who can create chances, who's brave, who is really good at link up and hold up. And we lack that today. So when we were struggling on the wings, usually when we got Jesus, we got proper threat central on the pitch, a focal point who can do it on his own. And we missed that today. Hopefully, and I believe the team and the manager will sort it out against Brentford, because expect a similar game plan from Thomas Frank's Brentford. They're gonna play physical. They're gonna play man to man. They've seen the way Everton played against us. We do know that they play with wing backs, so they are gonna double up on our wingers. So we have to be up for that game. It's gonna be a hard game, and but I do expect also the manager to know that, and he's shown before that after a disappointing result, we can put on a game of runs where we win a lot of games. And hopefully this will continue to be the trend. This was the second loss in this season. So I'm not gonna have like a massive meltdown, but I am disappointed. I want to win. I expected us to win. I believe that we could have won today, but again, we failed to do so against Everton. They seem to be our new boogie team away from home, where we just can't manage to get a win against them. It's quite annoying because they've been poor uh, for quite a few years. Where before, when they were good and used to finish higher, we used to always beat them away and at home. And I think they are the team that we've scored most goals against in the Premier League and maybe taken most points against as well. But I guess today wasn't our day, and I hope it just ends today. Uh, I do think that in the next game against Brentford, it could be good to make a few adjustments and change a few players from the starting 11 to make sure we get fresh legs, and also to make sure that players don't get too comfortable and feel like their place is secured. So I think against Brentford, I would probably start with Tomiyasu as right back. I think the past 1.5 game, Ben White has looked a bit tired, a bit off. Not sure what's going on. It's not panic because I think him and Granit Xhaka has probably been our most consistent players throughout the whole season. There is just the last 2 games where it's not been Mr. Consistent. And Tomiyasu's been good when he's been given the chance. So maybe give Tomiyasu a chance to start. I would start him. I would continue with Saliba. I would continue with Gabriel and Zinchenko. I think at midfield, it could be a game where we could just try and play Jorginho as number 6 and Partey and Odegaard as the number 8 and give Xhaka a rest. And maybe start with Trossard instead of Martinelli and play with Eddie and Saka. I do think that it's a good game to try, a few new players, you know, make a few adjustments. But I do expect Xhaka, Odegaard, and Partey to start. I think maybe Tomiyasu and Trossard are in good content to start. But it was a tough weekend, we lost. Man United won. Newcastle drew. Liverpool shocking loss to Wolverhampton 3-0. Something is not right over there at Liverpool. They are losing way too many games, and it's way too easy to play against Liverpool. There's a lot they need to change, and I think the pressure is on Klopp. Maybe not to get fired, but can he really turn it around? Can he have a strong season? Can he finish it strong? It's not looking good. There is always this thing that's been following Klopp, and it's after the 7th year, his team usually just crash. And we saw it at Mainz, we saw it at Dortmund, and we are now seeing it at Liverpool. Big up Nippon. I hope you're good. Yeah, I know Man United fans are too happy for my liking. I agree. They are the big winners this weekend, Man United. Chelsea drew yesterday. Arsenal lost today. Newcastle drew. Liverpool lost. They managed to bag an important win, 2-1 over Crystal Palace, even with the sending off of Casemiro. They managed to hang on. And they are continuing to show that they are having a very good season, Man United, and they are doing well on the Ten Hag. Hate to say it, but they are doing well. Obviously, not as good as we are doing, but fair play to them. They're doing their thing. So yeah, today's game again. I'm just quickly gonna go through the player rating. I'm not doing a tier list today. I'll start with Ramsdale in goal. And you can put your player ratings in the chat or in the comment section after the video if you want to. I'm gonna give Ramsdale a 6. I don't think he was poor. I don't think he was at fault for the goal necessarily. He made a few saves and it was okay. Nothing spectacular. I think Ben White, I'm gonna give him a 5. He was sloppy today. He was a bit off. Usually his passing is excellent, but it wasn't that good today. He made a few mistakes where Everton could counter against us, and overall it wasn't his day. So give him a 5. Saliba, I'll give him a 6. He was all right. He wasn't poor. He wasn't as sharp as we usually see him, and he struggled a bit sometimes in the air against Calvert-Lewin. I think Gabriel was one of our best players today, and I'm probably gonna give him a 7. 7. Yeah, Gabriel had a good game. Strong again in the air, physical, leadership. He's really having a very good season, Gabriel, man. And big up to him. He's really turning it around and he's doing his thing. Fair play to him. Zinchenko today, he was not as good as we've seen him lately. I expected him to have a very good game today. Unfortunately, he didn't. So I'm gonna give him a 5. I think Partey, I'm gonna give him a 5. Granit Xhaka, I'm gonna give him a 5. Odegaard, I'll give him a 6. He was the one who was trying, creating, working hard, putting in a shift. It just wasn't his day. On another day, that pass from Eddie, it turns to a goal, and you know everybody's happy. So we've got 6. Martinelli, I'm gonna have to give him a 5. It was closer to a 4 than a 6. I don't think he was awful, but he was quiet. Obviously, with Martinelli, he always worked hard, Gabriel Martinelli. He always put in a shift, and he helps in the defense as well. Can't fault him for that. But he was a bit too one-dimensional today. I think he had one good run where he took the ball and throw it past a few players. He gave it to Eddie. Eddie crossed it into Odegaard, and Odegaard had an awful shot. But other than that, I can't really remember him creating anything. And I think Martinelli missed Jesus as well. I forgot to say that before. You know, Gabriel Martinelli and Jesus, they do link up very well with each other. They have a good understanding. They like to interchange during games. Sometimes Martinelli goes central, Jesus goes on the left, and sometimes they link up. They do one-on-ones together, you know. And he's been missing. You can tell his link up with Eddie is not as good as with Jesus. But hopefully that's something the coaching team would work on and get it up. So yeah, Martinelli, I'm gonna give him a 5. Eddie as well is getting a 5. He didn't have a strong game today, Eddie. He looked a bit lost, and you know, these games where you have to battle against Connor Cody and Tarakovsky is probably not Eddie's strongest attributes, and we didn't manage to create enough chances for him, but the few chances he did have, he didn't take them. So that's why it's a 5. Another player who do works hard and press and all of that, but we need to see a bit more X factor from Eddie in these kind of games. And today is one of them where we just have to quickly forget about it and move on to the next one. The next player is Saka. I think Saka first part of the first half, he looked sharp. He was good. He almost scored from a volley, but after 20 minutes, Everton saw how dangerous he is and has been this season, and they quickly double up on him, quickly start being physical, up on his face, tackling him, and they got him out of the game. And unfortunately, Ben White didn't help him. There were no overlaps. There were no good combination between him and Ben White. So it's one of them where the way we want to play with our fullbacks, where we want them more to invert than run across the winger. This can happen. This can happen, and it's one of them where we're gonna have to be able to manage the game better in these kind of games where teams are gonna play very physical, very disciplined against us. We're gonna have to move the ball faster, much faster. Usually we do that very good with Zinchenko shifting the play, or Granit Xhaka, or Odegaard, or Partey. But today, the central midfield, they kind of lost the battle against Onana, Idrissa Gueye, and I think Iwobi it was. But yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them. And big up Miss Mel as well. I hope you're good. And big up my brother from the TGT chat. What's good? No, I'm good, man. How you doing? I hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday. Eddie went full Casper today. Yeah, unfortunately, he wasn't good today. But to be fair to him, the whole attack wasn't good. He didn't get a lot of service as well. And that's why I said earlier, these are the kind of games where we do miss out on Jesus and his creativity. And I hope that Trossard can add that creativity, where he's also good on dribbling and creative chances, and technically very sound. And we got obviously a hater here, Man United supporter. Oh dear, looks like the bubble is bursting. I told you so. It's funny that you say that, but we managed to beat you last week, didn't we? It's like people, I don't know what you expect. Like, we can't lose a game. We have to win every game. Like, it's not possible. Like, one loss or two lost the whole season. We've lost 2 games, and the bubble is bursting. Way too early to say. Way too early to say. We're still 5 points above Man City with the same amount of game played. Yes, they are playing tomorrow, but when they play tomorrow, Man City, they would have played more games than us. And they are playing against the boogie team, Tottenham. And Man City has not really impressed this season. So I think it's way too early to talk about Arsenal bursting, or Arsenal losing out on the title, or Man City going to win it. It's too early, man. It's too early. Let's see how Arsenal react. You know, we're going to play Brentford, and after that, it's us against Man City. And to be fair, Man City are the one who needs to beat us. You know, if we win against Brentford and we draw against City, there's still a 5-point gap between us and them. So in the end, they are chasing us. The pressure's on them to beat us. If we beat them, then it's another 8-point gap again. He's a Man United supporter. Don't mind him. Don't mind him. They're just jealous, you know. They wish they were at the top of the table. The way we slapped them at the Emirates is still hurting. You can tell it's haunting them. But yeah, for me, as I said before, it was a disappointing game, a disappointing loss. I never want to see Arsenal lose games. I want us to win games. You know, I want us to play well. We didn't today. These things do happen. But true winners, true champions, what they do so well is that after a blip, after a loss, quickly they get back to winning games. Quickly they get back to putting out, you know, these kind of long runs of winning games. And we've done that this season. You know, when we lost to United, we didn't lose again until this game. So it's like, and we didn't drop any points until I think the Newcastle game. So again, we've been so consistent this season. Still, like, we got 50 points out of a possible, what is it, 60? Amazing. And it's 54 points still left to fight for. If we can get something similar, if we get another 45 to 50 points, we're winning the league, in my opinion. We are. So big up to Arsenal. We've had a good season. Let's continue having a good season. Just need to make sure that we get the energy up. I do feel like when our energy is up, when we play fast, when we switch the game fast, we're almost unbeatable. And if we do that against Brentford, we're gonna win. And if we can do that against City, they will struggle. They will struggle. And big up Oluwazi. Thank you for tuning into the channel and subscribing as well. Much appreciated. He's saying if Odegaard is not ready to play more shots from the 18-yard rather than passing, then Arsenal will always find it hard to win because most teams know we play only through Martinelli or Saka. Big up, big up. But I do think that Odegaard this season, I think he's actually shown that he's ready to shoot more. I think even he just missed his shot today, but what is it? He got 7 or 8 goals in the Premier League, got a couple of assists. I do feel like today, especially without Jesus, we kind of missed that threat in the middle, someone who can take the ball and dribble and create. But usually we've been better with that, you know. Granit Xhaka have scored a few screamers. You know, Thomas Partey scored 2 wonderful goals outside from the box. We just need to make sure, yeah, that more pressure is put on centrally when they block us on the wing. And I feel like Trossard is someone who can help us with that. You know, Trossard got a very good shot, both with his left foot and right foot. He's technically very good. If he can start linking up with other guards, I think that will add another dimension to the team as well. And it looks like you put in the same comment 3 times. I'm just going to read the first one, but big up to you as well. Yeah, guys, if you do have any points or any questions about the game or that you want to ask me, feel free to put them in the chat and we will address it. I did listen to Mikel Arteta's press conference after the game, and as expected, he was disappointed. But one thing that was nice to hear from him is that he said that he loves the team more today than he did yesterday and the week before that. And that just shows that he's not going to throw them under the bus. He's there to take responsibility, to take accountability. Next step is next game, and we take it from there, you know. Because he scores when he shoots, which relieve goal stress on Eddie or Martinelli or Saka. Yeah, he does. He does. I think his shot is something that's really developed this season. And I said before, you know, he's been scoring a lot of goals this season. Today wasn't his game. I just think that Everton, they were just very good today. They had a fantastic game when it comes. If you want to look how you should play against Arsenal, Everton showed today how to play against Arsenal. But Arsenal have also shown that when we play our best football, we are unstoppable. And that's what we need to do. We need to continue being brave and fast on the ball. And if we do that, you know, we're going to have a strong season. And also, we've shown this season, I think we're on course. We are averaging over 2.5 goals per game. So if we continue, we will be around 90 to 100 goals. So we are scoring a lot of goals. It's just that today we couldn't manage to break them down. I think it's just 2 games this season that we haven't scored. It's the the 0-0 against Newcastle, and obviously the 1-0 loss today. In every other game, we've been scoring. You know, scored 2 against Spurs, we scored 3 against Man United, we scored 4 against Brighton, 2 against West Ham. So we have been scoring goals, and we've been scoring a lot of goals. And you believe that Odegaard is passing too much? I don't know. Passing is one of his best attributes, and is the reason why he got so many assists. Is because he's a good passer. I think last season I would definitely agree with you that he was passing too much. He wasn't taking enough shots, and he wasn't scoring enough goals. But I do think it's a bit harsh to just blame us not scoring today on Odegaard. I do think he was trying. I don't know if you remember, there was a chance in the second half when Martinelli were driving the ball and he gave it to Eddie. Eddie put it into Odegaard, and Odegaard shot, but his shot went wide open. I think another day, especially this season, at least he gets a shot on the target, or he even scores. So, but other people have to step up as well. Granit Xhaka needs to step up today. He wasn't good enough. If he steps up, if he takes more creative responsibility, it's another game. Martinelli, if he's more involved, it's another game. Eddie himself, if he's more involved, it's another game. Saka, if he's more involved, it's another game. Zinchenko, another one who got a quite free role. If he was more creative or more attacking, it's another game. So, in the end, it's a team of 11 players. Everybody got their role. Everybody has to take responsibility. Everybody have to make sure that they do their part. And if they do, we win the game. Unfortunately, today, there was a lot of Arsenal players who were not playing up to their usual high standard. And I feel like because of that, we didn't win. So it wasn't just on, let's say, Odegaard. It wasn't just on Eddie. It was a lot of them. None of the attackers today, I think, had a good game. I don't think the midfield had a good game. I think it was more the defense, especially Gabriel and Saliba and Ramsdale. They were the one kind of had strong games. But the rest of the team, a lot of them, they were not playing as good as they should. But we move on. We brush this to the side, and we make sure that we step up to the next game, which will be Brentford at home at the Emirates, where we will have the home support. We are going to want to show that this loss today was just a one-off loss and not a trend. So we will make sure that we are up for it, and the manager is going to make sure we are up for it. And maybe we will even see a few changes in the starting 11. I think this was the first time for a lot of years where we played with the same 11 for 5 consecutive games. So maybe we need a few fresh legs, rest 2 or 3 players. Doesn't mean that we are benching them, but maybe give Tross at the start instead of Martinelli, give Tomiyasu a start instead of Ben White. That's already 2 changes. And then we'll see, even it could be a point where maybe you want to gamble and start with Fabio Vieira, or maybe you want to start with Jorginho and rest one of Xhaka or Partey. Just try something. But hopefully, we will see another W against Brentford. And thank you for everyone who did tune in today. I know it's Saturday. You could be out having fun or spending time with your loved ones, but you decided to tune into this stream. So I do appreciate you taking your time, watching me and listening to me. So big up to all of you. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button up to Arsenal. And, just to make sure when we end the stream, we end it on a high. And I just remember everyone that we are still on top of the league. We are still 5 points ahead of Man City. It's not over. You don't have to panic. This team has shown us this season that they are up for it. So let's hope that this was just a blip and we can